because I wasn't really planning on making videos. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing. I started thinking, I got this little phone holder thing. I thought, wow, I wonder if I could just set my phone and video myself, and it worked out pretty good. Now I got this other thing. It's basically my phone sitting on a box, a couple boxes, so it's pointing at me, and it's sitting on its side. So I'll see if that works. I'm not sure it will, but I'm maybe it will. Hopefully it will, because it would look a lot better if I could just have the whole video. And so I'm teaching people how to use the internet. How to create something valuable on our one global cloud of artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence is it's the biggest lever in human history. The first one we ever used was a stick, to get the termites out of the termite hill, and stick the stick in there, and the termites get on the stick, and you pull it out, and you got something to eat, whatever, I guess, whatever they ate back then, millions of years ago. That was like the first tool. And rocks, using rocks for weapons and other grinding grain and stuff like that. And so now we have the internet, and we have computers and artificial intelligence, and it's the greatest lever ever. And it's extending not only our physical being, but our conscious, our spiritual being even. Because we can have conversations. I've had many conversations with people from all over the world. Pakistan seems to be, I've met several different people, have these little conversations from people in Pakistan and India and all over the world. And so that's very interesting, and this is a brand new thing, man. This one world civilization I think it's a great thing, and everybody's scared of it, and we definitely need to be careful. We got to watch out there's a lot of bullies in the world that want to be in charge, and, as far as I'm concerned, God's in charge. No person or group of people or one nation or any other group or whatever is in charge. God is in charge of the whole entire human race, and everybody needs to respect that and follow that, and practice spirituality in your own life. That's what we got to do. We got to learn and get good at that, and see if I can kind of be a little bit better if it was like that. Yeah, that puts me in the middle of the screen, so it's kind of interesting how that lined up with my little background there. So I like that. Anyway, yeah, the one world civilization is great, man. And it's really weird, man, because culturally, I'm kind of sometimes I'm I'm a nationalist and a globalist. I like the United States as my favorite nation. And I also like the United Nations. And I don't agree with a lot of things that both of them are doing. There's certain things I don't like about the United States, and there's things I don't like about the United Nations. But what I do like is I like my nation, and I like the idea, I like the human race. And I want the whole human race to be peaceful and prosperous. And I want every human being to be happy, healthy, and wealthy. And, and that's what I want, and that's what I worked on, and that's what my website is all about, is trying to help as many people as I can, and make it as easy as possible for people to recover. One of my big ideas is to, create a website, and some homeless drug addict goes to the library and gets on the computer and finds the website, and just like zoom, and he gets hypnotized to recovery, whatever, things like that, just, I've actually studied hypnotism, neuro-linguistic programming and stuff like that. I went to a school for that, been at Stiller University to study neuro-linguistic life coaching, and one of the subjects there was hypnotherapy, and, and it's to help people. I want to help people. I went to Idaho State University to be a drug rehab counselor, but when they started telling me that, you had to about this like power differential, and the counselor was superior to the patient, and he couldn't be friends with the patient because he had power over him because of his education. I just like, you know what, I don't want to learn what you're teaching, and I got out of there. And because I don't believe anybody is more important than anybody else. There's no, everybody's important. Everybody wants to be important, and everybody is important, but nobody is more or less important than anyone else. That's the disease, that's the character defect, that's the sin, is thinking you're more important than anybody else or less important than anybody else. Everybody is important, and everybody is precious and noble, and we need to help each other. Kids are not born complete. Human beings are not born complete. We have to be educated, and we become civilized by education. And so it's really important when kids are born, when kids are conceived in the womb. We're learning in the womb. One of the most important things about human nature is if the mother of the baby is happy and healthy and safe and secure and prosperous, that is going to affect the development of the baby. And one way or another, if she's abandoned or abused or anything like that, that's also going to affect the baby. So it's really important that the whole development process is, we need to start paying attention to that and work on improving it for all people everywhere. And teaching mothers how to raise kids, and teaching men how to take care of their family and not abandon their family and everything, all that. Because even after birth, then, because the baby can sense the presence of the father before it's born. It knows it's there, and the whole thing, and it affects the chemistry of the mother, her hormones and neurotransmitters. The whole recipe is affected by the father and everybody else around her, for that matter, but especially the father. And then the baby's born, and that continues, in different ways. That how the child, his brain is still growing and developing, must have a mother and a father to grow up as a normal, healthy human being. There's going to be exceptions to the case. People die in accidents and stuff like that, and we need to come, and that's okay. I mean, those people are precious, noble creatures also, and we need to take care of them. The whole society needs to take care of them. Aunts and uncles and grandparents, and everybody needs to take care of people like orphan people like that. And because they're just as equally important as everybody else. And so, but the normal state, and this will never change, ever, in human nature, it'll never change. One man married to one woman, raising a family. That is human nature. It is, and it's not going to change. It's biological, it's psychological, it's spiritual. It's the spiritual part is what it convinces me that it'll never change. I've heard that it will never change. The man and women will get married and have kids and families. Family is the beginning of civilization, as families. When men and women get married and they become one family, and then in order to protect those families, we create other extensions and civilization. We create civilization in order to protect our families. But our families created civilizations, and civilization depends on families. We need families. And course, the most important thing is God makes the rules. God, and when you can understand that and practice that in your life, that is the actual definition of freedom. Is by, because it's the rule of man versus the rule of law. And we're talking natural law made by God, not man-made laws. And, because man-made laws are important and necessary, for civilization, we need that. But those laws must reflect the natural laws revealed by God. And, and so that's the nature of freedom. Freedom is lawful, not lawless. So anyway, I want to keep these videos under 15 minutes, and it's getting pretty close to that, so I need to start ending this. It's just a test video anyway. But I like telling stories, and I'll see if I like these video stories. Maybe, because I know I even like watching videos. It's a lot easier to watch a video than it is to read a story, even though I love reading. I've read thousands and thousands of books, as you can see in the background. That's just like a tiny fraction of the books I've read in my life. So anyway, have a great day, and peace and prosperity be with you all.